Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Hearthstone. Today we'll be playing some games with Kripp's Control the Drake's deck. My opening hand here is, I don't really want either of these actually. I almost consider holding on to the Holy Fire because I'm playing against a mage, but we're going to dump that. And I just hope we live long enough to draw into it, basically. The idea there is that with Burn, I'd hopefully offset some of that. But anyway, this is what we're going to do. And yeah, we're playing Kripp's Control the Drake deck. It's the Priest deck that we highlighted in the last deck spotlight. And something I want to mention as we start this video off, someone in the video, or left a comment in the video saying that this deck actually isn't that strong nowadays, simply because aggro is so prevalent. There are so many very aggressive decks, and this deck isn't really that built that well to handle that sort of thing. I agree with that sentiment. Let me see, Novice Engineer, or let's go with a Novice Engineer. And I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. So there's two things to keep in mind. Number one, the metagame is constantly shifting. And what I try to do in the deck spotlight videos, and then their subsequent gameplay videos like this one, is show you decks that are of the current metagame, that are sort of designed to do well in the current metagame. Now these decks that I've been showing you over the course of the past week have been not that, that hasn't been the case. These decks over the past, which one to do actually? It's either gonna be Swamp Ooze or the Blade Master. Because the other option is to Power Word Shield this and then do a Novice Engineer, but I don't know about that. I think I'm actually gonna go with the, let's go with these. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Swamp Ooze right now. It's not like he's gonna have a weapon or anything, most likely. And then we're gonna drop this thing down. And oh, that's nice. And then I'm gonna attack into him with this. So the metagame's constantly shifting, but the other thing to keep in mind is that this deck, built by Kripp, and I think he built it with some community members, some friends of his as well. But this deck was built specifically with the Innkeeper's Invitational in mind. So he looked at what the metagame was at the time and what he anticipated his opponents to be playing. That is quite different than how the current metagame is going, because it's constantly shifting. So yeah, I've been playing with it, and it's been performing okay, but it hasn't been that great. I will freely admit that. This deck hasn't been performing phenomenally by any means. I think we'll go with the Twilight Drake right now. But it's been okay. It hasn't been that terrible either. So I just wanted to throw that out there as we got into this first video here, that because the metagame's constantly shifting, and because this deck was built for a specific tournament in mind, in a metagame that at this point is 3 to 4 weeks old, it's not necessarily going to perform the same. So anyways, the point is, this deck has some trouble with super aggressive decks. We're not really playing against one of those right now. We are playing against a mage. He did have some early game aggro, but not nearly as much as you'd see against some other decks. So yeah, now that all of that's out of the way, we can stop blabbering and just get into the game. All right, let me think here. Considering the injured Blade Master, we also have the Defender of Argus, which would allow me to pop off one of those things and keep pushing through. So I'm actually gonna go with this. And I'm thinking about what I want to do with this bad boy right here. So we're gonna go like that. We're gonna go like that. I think I'll save this for the injured Blade Master, actually. So I'm not gonna pop that down right now. He couldn't Flame Strike next turn. He can't do that till turn 7. So yeah, so we're gonna pass it. I'm gonna hold on to that. But yeah, I've been playing it. It's been doing all right. I would say I'm sitting at a 60 to 70% win ratio with this deck, but it's not as high as some of the other decks that I have spotlighted in the past. But it's still definitely a good deck, but you always have to keep the metagame in mind and the fact that it's constantly shifting. And that goes for, you know, if you go back to some of my Hearthstone decks spotlighted from a month and a half ago, those are likely to be terrible. Like there's a good chance those aren't going to be doing so hot in the current metagame. In fact, I'm almost 100% positive those things won't be doing so hot in the current metagame. Okay, so we get a Zora Drake. I'm also really liking this Shattered Sun Cleric as an option. Let's go with that. And so pumping up a single creature too much isn't necessarily the best idea, because then he can polymorph that single creature or something along those lines. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with what I just did. And with his last few, you know what, maybe I will just, Nah, I still want to save that for the Blade Master. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to heal him up, and then I'm going to hit for this, and then we're going to pass the turn. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that turn. And I'm actually okay with how this game's been going so far. I really need to push some damage through before he gets to turn 7, and he's already used his coin, so we don't have to worry about that right now. I need to be worried about the Flame Strike. That's definitely the case. So next turn is a really big turn for me to try to push some damage through. That's not going to happen. There's the Blizzard. That makes me sad. And then he's going to Ice Lance to finish that bad boy off. All right. Well, that'll happen. And since we could see a Flame Strike next turn, I'm thinking about not playing these things. You know what I mean? See what I'm getting at? And I'd like to make sure I can save one of my creatures if he does Flame Strike. So we're gonna go like this. That's nice too. Okay. And I don't want to play anything else. I don't want Flame Strike bait. Because this is the turn, if he has one, that he could do it. So let's see if that's going to be his game plan. Well, there's a Fireball. And then he's going to finish off this 3-1 as well. He's got one more mana, so he's got some other options. I still definitely think holding on to my cards at that time was the good move. And yeah, sure, let's do this. And then with our last 2, going to try to offset some of the damage we took early game by healing ourselves up. Because we worry about those crazy wombo combos this late in the game with him being able to Pyroblast and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. He can just get us down very, very quickly. So going to try to, probably for the next few turns, going to keep trying to heal myself up to combat the potential of that happening.
What to do? What to do?
So it's a 2, and then he got rid of the shield. He's going to freeze. No, he's got a, what the heck was that turn? Well, no, I mean, I get it, but I can go this plus this and then finish that off. Why don't I do that? And you know, the other thing is I could take this guy. Nah. Nah. Let's go like this. And nope. That is not what I anticipated. The mana count, the ability to count the mana just failed really hard for me. Okay. Well, I have no choice but to kill that, so because of my screw up, I'm gonna have to, Crapola. I can't believe that. That did not work out as anticipated at all. Alright. There we go. Passed the turnover, ended up throwing away my creature. So for some reason, I was thinking that Azure Drake only cost 4 to play. And I thought, yeah, Azure Drake and Holy Nova do that, and then I'll finish that off with my 2-1. It didn't work out that way. Not even remotely. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna freeze, he's gonna fireball me. Again, exactly why we are trying to heal ourselves up to help offset some of this damage he's throwing our way. And we're gonna have to heal ourselves up again this next turn for that same reason. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of just taking this. That's what I'm gonna do. Why did I do that? Because he could kill this thing off, push some damage through, and then hit me really hard with this thing. That's what could have happened. So instead, I decided just to take it. I'm also predicting that he's not running any super huge late game creatures. Although that is a possibility, I do have the Shadow Word Pain to deal with that potential. There's the Flame Strike. I knew it was coming eventually. It's just a matter of when. Alright. So what we are going to do right now is the following. Let's go with this, plus this, plus a heal. So that he can't just attack right into that. So yeah, I had that blunder earlier in the game with trying to do the Azure Drake plus the Holy Nova. Ended up throwing away my Argent guy as a result. But I don't know, I'm still feeling okay about this game. He's had to divert so much focus to my creatures that he hasn't been able to do me a ton of damage. Oh, actually. He's got me down now to 12. All right, let's see here. We can offset that with that. I'm gonna go like this. Force him to attack into these guys. And could do that to heal up, to do some damage to that thing, but it's primarily to heal up both of these guys. Make sure he lives through one of those attacks. Force him to use mana too if he wants. And because it's not, I'm not gonna have, you know, I mean, that thing's dead if I do this. So yeah, let's do that. And then with the rest of my healing power, I'm gonna heal myself up again because we're worried about getting in Pyroblast range. So as long as we can stave that off, we'll be able to continue to push through attacks. And oh my gosh, you know, if I had not messed up that one turn earlier, then we probably would have won by now. But it happened, so that's that. This is a win, regardless, though. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do in case he's got a Vaporize is we'll attack with our small minion.
I got this.
Let's Vaporize our nice ice barrier. There it is. Ice barrier it is. Okay, it's fine. Go like this. Push through. And then we've got plenty more we can do this turn. I'm gonna go, I guess we'll just go with this. And then we'll heal myself up again to push ourselves further and further out of potential death range. And now just a waiting game until we win. Even with all that talk at the start of the game about how this deck is just kind of, you know, not as good as it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, we still end up pulling out a victory, so that makes me happy. Force, you're coming off as mighty cocky with predicting a victory before you've won. Well, just look at what's going on here. Just look at what's going on here.
I got this.
So where do we go? So another ice barrier. Actually, we could, this is gonna be close this turn. What do we got? 4, 8, 12, plus the 3, plus the 5. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the game. Okay, so game number 1 in the bag. Let's go ahead and move on to a second game. See how it goes. Well played indeed. Oh, sorry, a little late. And our second game here is against a rogue, a little more potential to be a little bit more of an aggressive deck. Trying to think here. I like their Shadow Word Pain. I like the Holy Nova. How's about we actually dump the Defender? Just for the start. Oh, of course, we get the worst version of it. The earlier version, but the worst version. This could actually be an early game play for me, just for the sake of getting a creature on the board to help offset some of what he might be throwing down. So we'll see. And I'm not going to coin into it per se, but might end up playing it next turn, depending on what we see from him turn 2. Let's see what it's going to be. Just a weapon?
I hope you like my invention.
1, 2. Nah. Well, you know, he can pump that up, though. So I'm actually going to go with this. The early game 2-3 drop. I actually saw Kripp do this in the tournament. I don't know if I'm doing it at an ideal time, but I'm thinking because he's got things like Cold Blood, he could all of a sudden pump this thing up to be huge, and then I'm taking a lot of damage and I have no response for it. I can't Shadow Word Paint it after he Cold Bloods it if he gets the +4 from it. So that's sort of my thought process in actually doing that. We'll see if it ends up paying off. If he kills this turn, then too bad. Although we also make him waste a card in the process, so we'll see. We'll see if it pans out for me. He's gonna weapon up. Does he have a poison for it? There it is. Okay, well, at least we make him use his poison earlier. I don't know. It's something, I guess. It's something. All right, we got the Shadow Words. We got the 2 Shadow Words. Definitely not gonna be doing that yet. So just go ahead and heal ourselves up to offset a little bit of that damage. And see what he's got for us on turn 4. Next turn we could go with the Drake. It's gonna depend on whether or not he dumps this weapon this turn.
You like my invention.
If he holds on to it, then there's no point in playing the Drake because it just dies. It's a Fairy Dragon. Looks like we'll be doing Holy Nova next turn. Yep. So we're not gonna be doing that. This thing would just die quickly. I hate having to dump this, but really, I don't want to take all that damage next turn. What's this gonna be? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. Yeah, I mean, he could kill it off next turn. He'd throw everything at it. Or he could just assassinate it, so screw that. I think that was probably the better play, especially, again, on the... him having creatures in play is always scary for me, even if they're small creatures, because of Cold Blood. +4 attack out of nowhere can really, really do a number on you.
So many options.
And we'll go with the Twilight Drake next turn. It won't be as big as it could have been because we dumped the coin plus a Holy Nova. We do get the card draw in the interim, but that sucks. But what are we gonna do about that right now, you know? Here we go. And let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's at least deal with that potential. Assassinate is still, of course, an option. But at least we're safe from what's in front of us, what's on the board at the moment. At least he's safe from that. Definitely plenty of options, though, especially with the Drake giving him the +1 spell damage. Could see a combo to Eviscerate, plus an attack, and he'd still have to do one more, actually. Because that'd be only 8. And I'm assuming he doesn't have the Assassinate, because I would have guessed he would have just dropped it right away. Just 9 health is just so much to deal with, you know? Even though it's only a 4 damage creature, 9 health is a lot. Is a lot to think about working through, and a lot of things you'd have to throw at it, so if you can just get the quick kill with it, it's probably going to be better most of the time. Unless he's like holding out, thinking I might have some crazy late game stuff. But little does he know, I really don't. This is pretty much a mid-game focused deck.
My shield for
Okay, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that he has. There's that combo to Eviscerate, and then he's just going to attack into it, and his creature still lives, so that's a bitch. And I really don't want to deal with that 5/1, so I might actually just go with the Shadow Word Death, as much as it kind of sucks to throw that at this. Obviously we can Nova, but that only kills that, and then he still has this stuff in play. He still has this thing in play. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. And honestly, nah, you know what? I'm in a high enough life. I can deal with that right now. Unless he Cold Bloods it. Ugh. God. I'm gonna spend all game worrying about that one possibility. But it's so scary. Think about a Cold Blood on that. That's 7 attack. A comboed Cold Blood on that, 7 attack. What? You know? Out of nowhere. And then he's swinging me down to 20. It's just terrifying prospect. That is equally as scary. Good lord. Let me think here. Oh, well, that's good. Go with this. And then we pump up his health. So that he can't just walk right into it to kill it. Well, this would be a great play for the Assassinate if he has it. Uh-oh. That's no good. It's 5 damage. Combo to Eviscerate. Off of the Drake. So what, you take the Drake or you take the 4/3 that comes back? Probably take the 4/3 that comes back, huh? Could also do this, but it's not really doing much for us.
Must consider.
He does that. It comes back with 1 health though. So I'm actually gonna take the Drake so that he doesn't get advantage of that. If he trades for it, his thing comes back with 1 health, and we can Holy Nova it. That's, you know, if he even decides to trade for it. he might not, because he could have another answer for it. He's already used both of his eviscerates, I think. This game's been going on for a while. I'm pretty sure he's used both of his eviscerates. So we don't have to deal with those anymore, but we still have to deal with the assassinate. If he has no other answer for this, he will attack into it. There's no reason he would want to keep that on the board. If he does, fine, I'll Holy Nova and kill it next turn. And then I'll attack into your small thing and kill that too.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Goes for the draw, hopes for the assassinate. Did he top deck it? Looks like that's a no. His other answer, of course, would be a big weapon, or even just a normal weapon with a poison on it. Okay, looks like he's just gonna go for that. There you go, good job. And what else? What do you got here? Come on, I know you got something. Oh wow, another one of those assholes. Sorry for the language. I just hate that so much. So dealing with this stuff, it looks like I'll be waiting until turn 10 so I can Drake and then Holy Nova in the same turn. I'm in 9 right now. Could go with this plus that, which actually would be pretty good. Or this plus that, and we'd have 2 left. Force him to attack into these. It'd be a 4-4. He'd have to go with 2 of these guys. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Sure, why don't we do that?
We must cleanse
and we have 2 more, which lets me heal myself. I like that. So yeah, if he wants to get rid of that, he's gonna have to go swing with 2 of these, which would probably be these 2, I would assume. And then he could kill this with these 2. If he does none of that, which I hope he doesn't, I can Azor Drake Holy Nova next turn, 3 damage across the board. I'll just have to finish that off and then whatever left. But, you know, we have to assume he's going for this stuff. Okay, so there's the 3. So he goes 2-4, then kills this. His thing lives. And then we'll be able to clear his board next turn with this stuff. With our little combo here. Another option, he could still poison this to kill us off, but what's in play? He could go this, oh no, what is this? Backstab, okay, 2. So he just needs to swing one of these, so he swings with this. He swings that with this. There you go. Okay, I see what's going on here. And plus 2 attack. Thank God that thing's dying next turn. The hell are you doing? What else do you have for me? Jesus, this one turn for him is crazy. All right, well, big turn for us. He's still gonna have some stuff alive, but this is really the play. 3 damage across the board. This thing still lives. His guy still comes back as a 2-1. But could have been a lot worse. And we're able to get some life from all that as well. Oh, I'm so glad he didn't have another answer for that. I was super scared that he was going to keep that thing in play. He's got a lot still, though. This is still not looking good at all for me. Oh, good lord. All right. Oh, no, I'm missing a card now. What the heck? My hand bugging out. This happens way too often. All right, I am going to, if I can see it. No, this is the Holy Fire, good. Okay, so we're gonna Holy Fire that. And I can't play this thing, can I? Yes, I can. It's just in a weird position, really weird. Do I want to play it though right now? Or do I want to play this? Giving him 5. No, I should wait for this thing. We're gonna go with this right now. Silence is wasted, but... What? I can silence this thing? I didn't think that was possible because you're not supposed to be able to target it. That should not happen, right? Am I mistaken? Damn it. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm screwed. This game's done. I've got no more mass damage. He's got a lot of damage on the board. And yeah, this game's over. I am done for this next turn. Mind control's nice, but I'm pretty sure it's not enough. Oh, it's got charge from, wow, okay, that works. So I could attack into that heal this. He's got 6, 7 for me next turn. Sure, that's what I'm actually gonna do. That way he's gotta deal with this. I can ping his stuff off as a possibility. Ugh. It's not looking good. I'm pretty sure I lose, but that made a big, big difference. That made a huge difference. That actually gave me the potential to live.
So many options.
What's he gonna do? So he's gonna trade with that, okay. What is he playing? Oh no. He's got 5 for me this turn. Yeah, I need a taunt to not just die right away. And he's got fatal damage next turn. Obviously I can heal myself up this turn, but oh, thank the Lord. Getting pretty lucky with these top decks, I'd say. Oh my god. Well, no, because it's only 1 damage, so healing myself up was the right move, I think. I was just thinking like, oh my god, the swamp is... I could have played that if I didn't heal myself instantly. Okay, I think we still have a game. Wow, look at this. This is absolutely crazy. We actually still have a game. Again, it's not looking good, but it's not completely over yet. I just need to keep healing myself every turn pretty much, I think. I can't go too crazy. What am I doing? Let's go with the ooze. Yeah, I can still heal. Okay. Go with this.
We must
Pump him up.
Sunwell.
And heal myself. Oh, Lord. Are we going to turn this thing around? Oh, we're at 11. We're at 11, so he can... As long as this thing's in play, he's got 4 damage, plus whatever's in his hand. I don't think it's possible for him to have much more. There's an assassinate. Gets rid of the 5/4. That's fine. He's going to probably dump one of my creatures right now. Why not the 3? I thought he was looking at the 3/2. I was like, why would you not kill the 3/3? That makes no sense. All right, there's a novice engineer. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And we are, I'm actually pretty convinced right now that we're gonna win this. That is hilarious. That is mighty hilarious. I'm just gonna keep healing myself up. And we're gonna keep swinging for the fences. Or to be more specific, swinging for his face. And we have a 6/6 in play, plus another card in hand. We've got a card advantage over him at the moment, because we're a card ahead of him. There's the backstab, okay. He's got 9 damage coming at him next turn. He can only be doing 1 damage a turn to me with his weapon. Oh my lord. This is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that this is really going to turn out to be a win. Why would I play 4 damage when I can play 6 damage? And heal ourselves up.
I can't do that.
Yes, I can. Thank you. And then we swing him for 9, and I don't know. I don't know. I spent the beginning of this video sort of trashing the deck, but not really, just talking about the differences in the metagame. And we end up winning these 2 games. Albeit, they weren't against super aggressive decks. But still, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so in case you missed the deck spotlight, go ahead and check that out as we do a quick overview of the deck, also going over the deck list. But it turned out much better than I anticipated. Do keep in mind though, if you play against super aggro decks, this deck is going to have a little bit more of a hard time with it. I'm going to always try to keep on top of the metagame, but I really wanted to focus on these decks that were from the BlizzCon Invitational, and that's the reason we're looking at the ones we are here today. But anyways, all that out of the way, it actually ended up performing pretty well, so I'm happy. Thanks guys so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.